Hi guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival. I got kind of a long video for you, and the last time I did a similar video, a lot of people complained they didn't like it because it was too long, too much talking. It's going to be like that again. If that's a problem, you're going to want to stop right now. I've got my 2021 gear loadout coming. The bags, basically all my gear, everything that I'm going to be using this year. I might possibly expand or improve one or two little things, but if I do, I'll do an update video. So let's start off with what would be considered my everyday carry. Because that works towards my gear as well. Alright, so cell phone. I mean, pretty much everybody has a cell phone these days. That's my communications device. I had a backup cell phone. I don't anymore. It's gone. I also have, I hope you guys can see right here, I have my Selkirk folder. That is on my right hip. And somebody asked me, hey Dave, do you still have your Selkirk? Yes, I do. It's right back here. So, which is an everyday carry, I know. But I have this on my right hip so that I can either hand, or, I don't know, if there's like a bear or a cougar or danger, I can do both. So, that is why it's there. Also, my flashlight. This is my Phoenix UC30 1000 lumen flashlight. It is really good. And my Leatherman, my Leatherman Sidekick, which I get a lot of use out of. I really like this. Really, it doesn't have all the features that some of the other Leathermans do have that a lot. What's the one that everybody seems to like? You know what? I can't remember it. It doesn't matter, and I don't want to waste time. The Sidekick, I really like. It's got a really nice saw, great blade. I don't need a screwdriver. Not a big deal. So, other than my wallet, that's pretty much my everyday carry, as well as usually a mask. I use like a Who rag, sort of a gator kind of idea. I don't have that one with me, but I do keep an extra one in my camp pack, so you'll see that later. But normally I'd have one wrapped around my arm. I don't know where I put that. It's at my cottage somewhere. Okay. So yeah, let's get into everything sort of all together now. All right, first of all, I have my food bags. I don't keep food in my camp pack, ever. It's just not something that I do. I like to keep things somewhat separate and modular and kind of whatever, and it's a personal thing. It's just, you know, and I mean, I like to move food in and out as well. As these empty, they will come in handy for other things. Gathering wild edibles or wild medicinals, gathering things like fire tinder, things to get a fire going. Any number of things. If it's a bag, just, you know, any number of things. So my food bags here. All right, so I know the wind's probably playing havoc with the microphone on my camera, and I apologize for that. I'm up Boreal Forest, way northern Ontario. It's May 27th when I'm shooting this video. The black flies are absolutely crazy. The mosquitoes are out. I need a cool day that's somewhat windy so that I can do this video without all the black flies, because there's no way I could do it with them. And I'm just kind of working around the wind, so bear with me, please. I'm sorry. Next up is my my gear harness, my 1982 military pattern. This holds a lot of the stuff that I might want to take out of camp when I'm going to be away from camp for kind of an extended period of time, or if I'm going to be far from camp and I might need to take some discretionary gear. Now, I have this leg drop bag, and that is something that I would typically use to leave camp if I was going to collect some wood or something. I keep my silky saw in it when I'm on a campsite, and I have some first aid kit and a little bit of fire lighting and allergy meds, just sort of tucked into the top there. Just a handy little thing to use when I'm around camp and I'm just gathering up, you know, like I say, firewood or whatever. That gets tucked wherever, whether it be in the camp pack or in the harness, when I'm traveling like to and from. But at camp, very, very handy. If you don't have a small leg drop bag, I recommend it. They're really, really handy. Last but not least is the camp pack itself. This is my camp pack, bug out bag, inch bag, bush bag. This is my preparedness bag. Okay, I'm out in the woods a lot. I'm an avid camper. I have everything sort of here. I don't have multiple bags for different little scenarios or whatever. This is it. Okay, so it does seem a bit big for a bug out bag. It might seem okay for an inch bag. I don't know, but either way, this is my preparedness bag, my bush bag, my camp pack. I can alter this before I actually bug out if I need lightweight. So, but anyway. There we go. Now, am I going to be able to carry this incredibly long distances every single day in a bug out scenario or a traveling scenario? No, I'm not. And like I say, I can alter it. This is I've carried it as much as 1.5 kilometers, and I was good. I was okay. And I had a canoe over my head. But very, very long distances for extended periods of time, no. But I'll get into that as I dig into everything as well. So that's what we got for our usually short walk into whatever campsite, from the boat, the canoe, the car or truck, the ATV, or I don't know, in recent years the pontoon plane, which I don't have access to anymore. Which it's been a number of years since I've had access to that, actually, way before I even started YouTube. Okay, I'll find a comfortable place to sit down and we'll dig into everything. Okay, found a little bit of a sheltered spot. Wind shouldn't be that much of a problem anymore, but the black flies are kind of hanging out in here too, so it's kind of a 50-50, you know, sort of split. They're not super bad though. As I said, when I get to camp, I will generally snap this on to my body, especially if I'm going to get firewood. Now, there is another little first aid thing that goes in here. I don't have it in here right now because it's at the cottage. I took it out to administer some first aid, and I forgot to put it back in before I left. So right now I have 2 abdominal pads and a pair of medical gloves sealed into a plastic vacuumed container, just to keep them as clean as possible. There would be a little black bag full of, basically it's a boo-boo kit and some antibiotic ointment and whatnot stuffed into here as well. My lighter and allergy pills, like I said before. Just in case I happen to do something to myself when I'm using a saw or a knife and I'm away from camp. But not super far away from camp. That's what the harness is for. Next up, food bags. I won't go into them too much. I will say that coffee, obviously. I'm going from MREs to more of the freeze-dried food because they're a lot lighter, and I could pack more into them. So what I want to try to do is I really enjoy the MREs, but I want to try to give the other things a chance and see if maybe they're a little bit better, maybe more food for your space, but I know it's a lot lighter. So that's all I'll say about the food aspect of it. I generally keep one of those 5-hour energy drinks in my food bag, one of my food bags, just in case, you know. I mean, you never know when you might need to have a jolt of caffeine to keep you awake and aware and moving. So I have those. I also have just some things, Mio plus vitamins, flavoring agent for water. I don't mind drinking a lot of water, but after my 7-day survival challenge and I got out of the woods and I had a glass of juice, I'll tell you, it was the best darn glass of juice I ever had. So when I'm not doing something like a survival challenge or, you know, whatever, I keep these in there now. It's just, it's nice to have something other than coffee or water all the time. As per usual, I have my cooking oil, but it's not just for cooking, it's for maintaining or cleaning and maintaining, oiling my axe, my machete, anything carbon steel. And then I have some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes of portable soup, bouillon. Now, Yep. No, that's okay. We'll just edit that part out, won't we? Over in the second food bag on the side, I also have my spice kit. Black pepper, white pepper, paprika, steak spice, summer savory, lemon pepper. The list goes on and on and on. You could put all kinds of stuff in here. It generally, you know, to flavor up things like fish or any raccoon or squirrel or something that you kill. In a survival situation, food is food, but good food is even better. And, you know, a spice kit don't really weigh that much. Doesn't take up that much room. So, that's food. Okay. Next up is the harness. Some of this gear will stay fairly constant. Some of it will change. Not just trip by trip or day by day, but I mean, you know, depending on when I leave camp, I might decide to take different things each time I leave camp. So this tends to be very fluctuating. One of the things that will be shifted in and out a fair bit is my camp shovel. Just sort of screws together, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen these. It's very handy to have in a lot of situations, but most of the areas that I camp, you can't really dig down much farther than 6 inches or even 2 inches sometimes. It's a lot of granite in my area, and that does weigh a fair bit. So if I'm leaving camp and I'm not planning on using the shovel to find you know, edible roots or dig a latrine or, you know, a foxhole or something, I will generally leave that behind because it is very heavy. This is my Katadyn Be-Free. You've probably seen, I have my Katadyn Hiker Pro, but the Be-Free is very portable, doesn't really weigh that much, and it's really, really handy. When I leave camp, in my area there's water pretty much everywhere, but you can't just stop to, you know, set everything up, start a fire, and boil water all the time, so the Be-Free is awesome to have. And I also have my water bottle, my Nalgene, what is that, like 1 liter water bottle. Skip over that for now. I have, oh, wait a minute. Oh, right, okay, so these are just some Mylar blankets that I had thrown in here. This is where I keep my camera equipment, because, I mean, very rarely do I ever go camping or do anything where I'm not at least planning on doing some filming. So this bag here is camera and batteries and, you know, kind of whatever. And then there's a loop here that I put 2 of the legs of my tripod in, and 1 leg sticks out and it just hangs there and kind of whatever. I would not take that out of camp. I would take something like this here and just put it in. I don't know, maybe a rain poncho, or, you know, just all depending, just something like that. And then in this one, I have just a little kit of various, I guess. I've got the ferro rod that Frank made me. I've got a lens cleaning kit for my glasses, my sunglasses, or my camera equipment, whatever. I have a little tripod and one of these dealies that allows me to turn my phone into my camera if I have to. I have some Kevlar cordage. This stuff, it's very small, but it is super strong. It's really strong. I have an extra multi-tool. It's just a piece of junk. A Bic lighter, and another little first aid kit. I guess a Possibles pouch, I guess. Now the first aid kit, it's just a boo-boo kit, so I still have the leg drop bag with a little bit of trauma stuff kind of deal. I don't leave camp without that on my leg, hip, usually, at all. So, whew. Now I know some of you are saying, wait a minute, you skipped one. Yes, I did. I did skip the butt bag. Because this one changes more than anything else. If I'm leaving camp, you never know. Now, first of all, I'm going to use this right now. This is my off bug repellent thing. I don't even know what they call it exactly. No, it doesn't really say. It's made by Off, and it's got some batteries in it, and you put a cartridge in it, and you turn it on, and a little fan just spins up, and it's citronella. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to put it right here, right now, just to try to help with the bugs. Alright, whoops. Of course, when I'm doing a video. Okay. I have my camp cutlery in here that I just got. You guys got to see this up close. Wait, actually, can you hear that? Maybe? It does kind of work. This snap is really weak. It's actually not very good at all. You get her on there, and just a little and it just pops right off. So I took a piece of paracord and I tied it like a tie, not a bow tie, but one of the long ties, and that allows me to open and close it to help keep the cutlery in there. Spoon, and these things are solid, man. They actually weigh a fair bit for cutlery, but I gotta have them. Adds a little flavor. My fork, my knife, and I am missing, there it is, fell out. I also, I got this separately, but I ordered an eating pick as well. If you're thinking about ordering Viking cutlery, I recommend the eating pick in addition. You'll have to order it separate, but if you're cooking over a campfire and you need to, like say you're making baked potatoes, you just stab some holes in the baked potato with one of these, and it cooks faster. And it's pretty handy. I like it. I really like it. Okay, we'll put that away later. Okay, next up, my bug net. That, it tends to move around a little bit. I don't use it that much because I never wear a hat. But it does tend to, either in the top of my camp pack or into here, depending on what I'm doing. They are kind of handy to have, especially, like I say, with the black flies, like what we get them. It's crazy. More coffee. If I'm out and about and I kind of lose my way, I get lost, I want to be able to make coffee when I get up in the morning. It's just it's just one of those things. The water bottle, I almost forgot. It's such a pain to get in and out, but I'll show it to you anyway. Come on, you. Almost there. All right. I got the nesting cup with the lid. You can make cowboy coffee with this, no problem. If you don't know what cowboy coffee is, look it up. It's a pain in the butt getting that thing in and out of there a lot of the time, but I mean, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? So if I happen to lose my way, I'm lost, I have to spend the night somewhere, I at least can get up, make myself some coffee, give me that, caffeine thing to get me back to camp the next day. It's called an off clip-on. I've got 4 left. I just put this one in. Oops. So, head-to-toe protection for up to 11 hours. Not bad. Not bad at all. Cordage, that's a I.N.C.H paracord. That's 50 feet, I believe. Ish. My Victorinox camper. The Victorinox camper, I think it is. I got the wood scales rather than the red or, kind of whatever, because I really like that. And I'm colorblind, so if I dropped a red knife into the ground, I would have just as much luck seeing it as if I had the scales anyway. And I have an MRE. This is beef ravioli and meat sauce. Because who doesn't like their raviolis? And if I'm lost in the woods, I have a good meal, I have my coffee for the morning and then a snack on my way, and I'm pretty much good to go. All I really need is to grab like my tarp or my my rain poncho and slam it in here, and I've got a shelter or whatever as well. So that is my harness. All right, let's talk about this bag real quick. This is the Canadian Military 1982 pattern rucksack. Underneath, it's supposed to have something called the valise. I didn't get that, and I could not find that for sale anywhere. So I took the next best thing. I think it might be an American issued bag, but I'm not 100% sure. But it matches up the whole motif fairly well. So, and it's almost identical. It's almost the same thing anyway. But I'll get into that in a bit. My old bag, the Molly 2 rucksack that I used, really liked it. But empty, it weighed 15 pounds. Empty, this weighs 5. It was really easy to kind of, the Molly 2 rucksack was very easy to sort of add parts to and keep everything nice and modular. But if I had to try to separate that into separate components, that was a bit of a pain. This here, I can separate this and this just by untying 2 cords down here. That is really handy. Why is that important to me? I like to go out in my canoe, occasionally maybe a snowmobile or an ATV or some other watercraft where weight dispersal would really help, especially the canoe. Having this all in one area, this is about 45 pounds full. Having that all in one area, especially in a canoe, is not all that great. So the ability to kind of separate the stuff out and disperse the weight really helps. It's a whole lot easier than the Molly 2 rucksack to do, and the bag itself is lighter, so that helps. Okay, now, first of all, my axe. Last time I did a video like this, I said that in the winter time, I will have my axe, and in the summertime, I will often have my machete. A lot of people made comments, "You don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy carrying an axe and a machete." No. Either this or the machete. Now it's kind of getting past wintertime and it's time to put the machete onto here, but I don't like the case. I think what I might do is when I have some cash and things are flowing a little bit better, I might send my machete off to a subscriber on here named Frank. He's got a little business going, I believe he calls Kydex Creations, and he makes Kydex sheaths or scabbards or carrying cases for all kinds of stuff. He's gotten really good at it from what I understand. So I don't like the case on my kukri. I'm going to be sending my kukri to Kydex Creations, and I'm going to have Frank do me up a custom piece as soon as I, have the ability to do so. So, and I'm going to try to get some information on that so that when I release this video, anybody who's interested can send Frank an email or a phone call or whatever and have him maybe quote some work or whatever that they might want done. Next up on the outside here, my Boreal 21 Canyon folding saw. This is an absolute beast of a saw. If you're bucking up campfire wood, you are way ahead of the game to have something like this. No, they're not paying me. I just really like it. Between this and my Silky Gone Boy, I do really well. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. What else do I got here? Oh, nothing of any real consequence. I've got a wooden comb that they clipped on there, and I was just sort of playing around the thought of making my own kuksa, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it, so I was just playing around with a little mini one, just to get a feel for it. Okay. It's everything on the outside. Absolute upper panel here. I have a pair of work gloves. I have a pair of water shoes. They are the Vibram glove style shoes. Laugh if you want. I like them. They've got great traction. If I'm canoeing, I'm doing whatever, I can kind of move around and whatever. They're really handy. They're expensive though, so they're not for everybody. And I have 3 contractor bags, not compactor, contractor bags. These are really, really handy in a lot of situations. I have actually used 2 of these to make kind of a hammock before. I'm sure some of you have seen that video. And yep, that's everything up in the very, very top. All right, next up, I guess we'll do in the inner top. A laminated map of Ontario. I would like to have a few more maps in here that are a little more area specific, so that I don't have to rely on my cell phone for that kind of thing. But at the very least, I have that. I should have more than one actually, but maybe I used it. I've got a Ziploc bag. There should be 2 or 3 of them. Who knows? A Mylar blanket. The pocket edition of the SAS Survival Guide. As well as Sun Tzu's Art of War, pocket edition. When you're in a survival situation, those 2 books I find can get you into a mindset that will set you up to win rather than fail. That's why I have those. This here is when I have my camp chair, like my, what do they call those? You build a tripod and then you have sort of that little piece of fabric, whatever they're called, and then I Velcro that to the thing, and I can put my cup in there. So it holds my cup. I have a set of waterproof playing cards. It is getting on to the summertime, but last night it was 4 degrees Celsius, 4 degrees above freezing. That does get a little bit cool when you're out in the bush. I have a pair of warming gloves as well. They're not really good work gloves, although they can be sacrificed and used as work gloves. They have the touchscreen sensitive fingertips for using smart devices and whatnot. There's the other sandwich bag I was talking about. My headlamp. Far Point. I don't think it actually has like a name other than that. I just got it not that long ago. It works pretty well. It's got 2 modes. It's got a focus beam and then a really bright sort of wide angle that doesn't go very far. It is rechargeable. You just plug it right into a battery pack and you're good to go. I also have my sewing kit and some thread hanging out. I did use it. The thread is already, the needles are already pre-threaded. So each one is loaded and ready to go. This way here, if I happen to be injured or freezing cold, I don't have to torture myself by trying to get one of those things threaded. And just a quick access sort of backup gorilla tape. I do have a proper cordage bag with all this stuff in it, but this is just an extra little thing that I keep in this area of stuff that I may possibly need at some point or other during the course of a trip. Side pouch, rain poncho. Nothing else. Just my rain poncho. That is, it's just that quick access kind of thing. If it's going to start pouring rain, I can just very quickly get into there, get that out, open it up, and get it over me and my pack, or, you know, whatever I'm doing. Rain protection and first aid should be something that you don't have to dig for. Okay, next up, my gator, tube, whatever you want to call it. The only real practical application that this thing probably has, to be honest, is just to help sort of keep your face warm if it's kind of cold. But I don't know, you'd probably be allowed into a store with it. Okay, Muscle insect repellent lotion, 30% DEET. This is almost, it's almost vital to have, but you never ever really want to use it. It's 30% DEET, so you don't want to have it necessarily on your skin for extended periods of time. But as bad as the mosquitoes and the black flies can get up here, you just can't live without them. I have a I can't remember what came in this tube originally, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 little compressed towels. You get them wet and they grow to sort of a hand towel size. They're super useful. You can you can use them to clean up your hands and whatever after you've been cleaning fish or wild game or just, you know, regular dirt and grime every day. Or you can take one of these and you could just fluff it up with your knife and hit it with a ferro rod and use it as fire tinder. Multi-use is always good. Uh-oh, I'm almost out of camp soap. This is biodegradable. This is, you know, as eco-friendly as you could possibly get camp soap. And, you know, I mean, it helps to clean big time. It's not, you know, like one of those things that don't work very well, but you kind of use them anyway, you know, just because it's environmentally friendly. It actually does work pretty good. I also have my camp towel for drying off or cleaning up or whatever you like to do. How many of these do I have in here? I have just one left in here. Wow. Okay, so I have one of my clip-on inserts in here as well. I had like 5 or 6 before. I guess I've used them all up. I have my comb and my brush, because, you know, you gotta look pretty in the woods. I don't know. Maybe the bears only attack the ugly ones. I don't know. Baby lotion, just in case. You never know. You get chafed feet from walking. Baby lotion will help. You don't want to use this unless you absolutely need to, because this will attract the bugs. The deodorant that I wear is scent killer. It's no smell at all to it at all. None. No smell. I love that. Absolutely love it. The insects will be attracted to anything perfumey. So it's always a good idea to, before you go camping and you know there's going to be bugs, when you're showering or whatever, just don't use soap and shampoo, or if you do, use scent killer, so that you're not carrying that perfumey smell, and you'll find the bugs bother you less. Okay, my toothbrush, which, oh, wait a minute. There we are. Now, I just got that. I had a different one. It pulled out and popped in, and while I was brushing my teeth, it cracked and the whole thing broke. So I just got this one. Hopefully, it'll be better. But I got it from the dollar store, so who knows. Oop. And my Buck Diamond Hone sharpener, which I use to sharpen my axe, sharpen my knives while I'm in the field. I really, really, really like this thing. I would like to get a slightly bigger one, especially because I use it for my axe as well, in the field. And it's so lightweight. It's any of those other sharpeners you get, the sharpening stones or the sharpening apparatuses, you don't want to be carrying those around. I mean, ounces is pounds and pounds is pain. So you want to be careful of stuff like that. And my battery packs, I have, oh, that's what that was. Okay. I have 3. 2 are across the lake back at my cottage, being charged. So I only have 1 in here right now. I have been using these a lot up at the cottage. But I have my phone, my flashlight, my headlamp, and then like my camera batteries for the one that I'm filming on, and it's not a GoPro, but it's like a GoPro action cam. So 3 of these pretty much does keep me going pretty well. Pretty well. For those of you who go into the woods and do not film, 1 or 2 probably do you just fine. That's everything in there. Now the pouch on the far side here. Okay, first of all, if you're digging into here, something's gone wrong. Okay, you done buggered up, something's gone wrong. This is a rain poncho, but it's hunter orange, which I'm sure you can tell. I can't see it right now because I'm not wearing my color glasses, but this can be used obviously as a poncho. It can be used as a flag, a signaling device, all kinds of different stuff. This is high vis, for people not like me that can't see that kind of stuff. As well as my bear bang and flare kit. There's a little pen with little screw-on pieces. 3 of them are flares, and 2 of them are like shotgun shells without the shot. They just a really loud bang. So you're going to be heard and seen. You're going to be noticed with that and that. And then the first aid kit. Now, it really hasn't changed since I did my review on it. All in all, I think the only thing that I added was my afterbite. Other than that, it's pretty standard. I mean, it's not all the same stuff, but I've used it and replaced it with similar stuff. So, don't need to really get into that. But those are the 3 outside pockets out here. The 2 sides, this is something bad has happened. It's really going to start pouring rain. Or, you know, I want to build a makeshift shelter, which I can easily throw into my harness. All right. We're going to get into some of the cooler stuff now, in my opinion anyway. Now, I don't have any sponsors. No one's paying me to say anything, okay? Anything. I'm not trying to sell any of you anything at all. Just remember, because I had people kind of go on about that too. No, I just like what I like. If you don't, hey, no problem. I mean, you're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change your mind, and we just agree to disagree, and that's all there is to it. But either way, okay. I just got this camp grill. Who's it from? Branded Boards. Got it off Amazon. My old camp grill was from an old barbecue grill. It was super heavy. I didn't mind it quite so much, but I figured maybe it was time to go for, you know, something like this. This isn't quite as big as my old one unfolded. It's about as long, but it's not quite as wide. I can still utilize that just fine. So I don't know if I like it yet or not. I don't know if it's good or not. I will be using it this year. I will be putting it through its paces. If any of you have actually had this or used it, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, because I haven't had the opportunity to use it yet. Keeping my battery packs charged, I have two solar panels. One of them by I.N.C.H, which I like. It works pretty well. And one of them by Coleman, which it does the job, just very slowly, not as good as the I.N.C.H. So at some point I probably will be replacing it, but I got it off of Facebook Marketplace off of a guy. It's like $10 or something, and I wanted to give it a try. I'm sure one of my kids will find a use for it when I replace it with a better one. It's not horrible. I like to have a cutting board. I don't know. It's my plate to eat off of, and I can also, you know, process everything to cook and whatnot. It helps save my knife from going into the dirt or onto a rock or whatever. And it's like super easy to clean off as long as there's water nearby. So, yeah, what can I say? It's just a Cuisinart cutting board. But I don't know, it's handy to have. I have a change of clothes in here that is Ranger rolled up and stuffed into a dry bag. I try to keep certain things in dry bags after my nephew and I crashed into a tree in the middle of the river and capsized our canoe and everything got soaked. I had everything in dry bags, and I slowly kind of took stuff out of the dry bags because some of it really didn't need to be in the dry bags, and it just added a lot more weight than was absolutely necessary. And yeah, it does add a certain amount of buoyancy to your pack, but I mean, like I say, I did carry this thing for about 1.5 kilometers, and it was a little bit easier to do with the 6 pounds that I lost, I think, by taking certain stuff out of it, including the dry bags. This is the Sea to Summit kitchen sink. I like having my camp chair set up, and then this sort of set on the side, like I'll sit here and I'll have the Sea to Summit sort of beside it. This allows me to sort of wash my hands whenever I like, clean my cutting board, just sort of whatever. Every morning I dump it out, I refresh the water that's in it, sometimes more than once a day. It's really, really handy to have around rather than going to the water every single time you want to just get something wet or wash up a little bit or whatever. And also, with my camp soap, I don't have that near the water. It's eco-friendly, but it's still soap. So I will sort of dump that off to the side where the soil and the bugs in the soil and the plants and everything can break it down even further. It doesn't go near the water. And that really helps me to keep that camp soap well away from the water. I am a hunter, I am a fisher, I am a camper, but I'm a conservationist at heart. My Katadyn Hiker Pro, the majority of my drinking water would pretty much go through this. There's all kinds of filter options, doesn't matter what you use as long as it's a decent filter. I really like that. Oh geez, what do you call these things again? A great big giant bandana? A shemagh. That's my shemagh. That is handy for just so many different things. Won't even get into it just because this is going to be a long video. But if you don't have a big bandana or a shemagh, you should probably think about doing that. Okay. Another dry bag. I have some extra batteries for my off clip-on. They are rechargeable batteries, but I don't have any way to recharge them on the campsite. So I charge them at home and I bring them. If I run it, I run out. I just put them back in here. I don't bring non-rechargeable batteries with me. I don't leave anything behind when I go. I always take all that stuff home. Also, I have an extra headlamp with the stretchy elastic piece that if I happen to break my regular use one, or I don't know, it runs out of batteries and I don't have time to recharge it because it's already dark or whatever, I just have the extra one here. And I mean, obviously in the dry bag, because those are electronics, and if they happen to get wet, they're probably going to be no good. This is my cordage bag. Do I want to get into it? No. I have a whole lot of paracord in here. I have tarred bank line, I've got black electrical tape, Gorilla tape, and I have snare wire in here as well. I probably have easily 300 feet or more of paracord in there. This is my shit kit. Oh, you know what? Yep. Okay, normally I have wet wipes. If I run out of wet wipes, this is what I resort to. It's everything in here is yellow. Yellow means, you know, sanitation, keep it away from your stuff, especially food. It doesn't go anywhere near anything that's blue or green, ever. There's something kind of like this, but I couldn't get this in yellow, so I had to buy a cheap one. But it's like a portable bucket that's yellow, and 2 or 3 yellow microfiber washcloths. And that is, you know, keeping yourself clean when you're urinating and defecating in the woods. Why I don't have any wet wipes in here right now, I honestly don't know. I had a pack in here before, or 2 even, but I mean, with a bunch of stuff that's been going on lately and the whole COVID thing, I really haven't had the opportunity to go camping this year. This is my first time really out. So it's good to know that I don't have any wet wipes in here before I actually need to go out and use it. My fire kit. Now, this isn't meant to be a shot at anybody at all, but I saw this fire kit. It was a 750-piece fire kit. Really? Like, it's nice to have options, but holy jumpins', come on. Okay, I have like a a fire tinder, fire accelerant bar, kind of whatever. I got it from the dollar store. I got 2 of them. I still have 1 left. It worked pretty well. Not gonna lie, dollar store still worked pretty well. It smells. And then I have a couple of the little fire sticks as well. And I have some Vaseline soaked cotton balls. There is a magnifying lens in here, a Bic lighter, and another ferro rod. This is the smaller one that Frank made for me. Thanks, buddy. And that is everything that that I need to start a fire, and more. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in certain areas it might be hard to start a fire. Not in mine. I can pick up birch bark all over. I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7 birch trees right near my immediate vicinity, as well as a dead birch laying on the ground over here. And there's even some pieces of birch bark that have blown around. I don't need 750-piece fire kit to get a fire going. Like I say, it's nice to have options, and this isn't meant to be a shot at anyone, but I mean, that's a little bit overkill. A nice small little kit is just fine. In the front pouch, oh, that's kind of hard to get out of there when the thing's closed. Holy jump. Okay, there we go. In the front pouch, I have a mirror. I had it in my first aid kit before. I figured maybe I'd just throw it in here, make a little room in the first aid kit, because it was getting a little packed. A mirror is good for a number of things, signaling being one of them. I'm not so concerned about the signaling aspect because I have the flare gun. So this is, you know, I might check myself down to make sure I don't have any ticks on me. And, you know, when I'm brushing my hair or whatever, I can see what I look like. This is my cooking kit. It is a little large, I'll give you that. But I often will go camping with my kids, and I need a little bit more than just a little billy pot. So first of all, I have my Vargo titanium twig stove, and I've used it a bit here and there, not a whole lot, but I have used it a bit, and it's pretty handy. I have a frying pan, 2 cups, the grabber handle, and 2 pots. I can have all of my kids with me and still be able to make a proper meal for all of them and myself. And that was $50 at Canadian Tire. 50 or 60, or it was around 50. The cups that came with it aren't the cups that I have in here now. I actually, they sell some cups separately that I liked a little bit better and that fit in this kit better. So I got those. This is my French press coffee cup for when I want to make my coffee. Super, super easy to use, super handy. And I wouldn't want to go camping without it, to be honest. Cowboy coffee is okay, but I mean, French press coffee is so much better. That's my camp chair. I'm sure a lot of you have seen me sitting in, you know, the tripod with the piece of fabric that goes, that's right there. And that is the whole main compartment all completely dumped out now. That's the bag from the bottom. It unties super quick. Have you ever tied a boat where you're almost braiding the one rope kind of thing to stop the boat from floating away, but you grab one end and you give it a yank and the whole knot comes untied with one pull? That's what I use to attach this on. Super quick to get it off. Now, as for the bag itself, like I said, it's an old army bag. I've modified it just a little bit so that it closes somewhat similar to a dry bag, even though I don't really know how waterproof it is. But it's just, it does the job. It's really, really good. I should probably have cleaned all that off. All right. This is my shelter options. My sleeping pad, my climate insulated 2.5-inch thick sleeping pad. Super comfortable. Blows up really, really quickly. You know, 5 to 10 breaths, I think is what it is. It's really, really good. Those are tree straps for my hammock. And the hammock. The hammock has the bug netting already attached to it. Just really, really, really awesome to have that option. Sometimes it can be a bit of a pain if you want to just kind of sit and lounge in it or whatever without having that bug net in the way, which, you know, then it's not so great, but it's better to have it. That is, it's my military poncho liner, also called a whoopee, but I have a casualty blanket also attached and rolled into it. My idea of having a shelter kit, just a shelter, you should have something to sleep on, something to sleep under, something to sleep in. The casualty blanket, the survival blanket, gives you sort of that waterproof base that you can sleep on. The whoopee you can sleep in, and then the rain poncho is your shelter aspect. So that's something to sleep under. So this here does seem like it's a bit big and bulky for a poncho liner. That's because there's also the survival blanket in there, or the casualty blanket. This is my Snug Pack Bunker 3. I've never had a more rugged tent. This thing withstood near hurricane forces when I was on my 7-day survival challenge. The wind was so bad, it actually launched my canoe into the river. It picked up my canoe and threw it. I had to jump into the river, swim to get my canoe, grab the rope that was on it, put it in my teeth, and kind of swim back. And then I tied it to a tree. This thing withstood that wind. I like it. Okay. Now that I'm getting kind of old, I mean, I'm, 48 years old now, I got a blow-up pillow. Laugh if you want. I don't care. I'm comfy. But no, it's super lightweight. It's very, very compact, but it blows up into a good sized pillow. I really like it. And it's got like a nice, it's not like a plastic one where your ear like makes a suction to it and you kind of, it's got like a nice soft, almost microfiber to it. And then my my tarp. That's pretty much that. So I can set up my hammock, I can set up my tent, or I can set up sort of a quick shelter with my my whoopee, my survival blanket, and my rain poncho. I've got just about every single kind of option that you could possibly want to make a shelter, all stuffed into here, including what they say is a 3-man tent. At best, I'd say it's a 2-man tent. But in all honesty, it's me and my gear. That's, you know, this is my room. Go get your own room. So, for me, it's a 1-man tent. So that is probably a long video by now, but that makes up the whole amount of my 2021 gear loadout for everything that I'm going to be doing this year. I might not take all of it every time, but I will be using some aspect of all of this gear. The tarp I might upgrade as well. This one's getting a little old and a little tattered. The hurricane force winds the tent withstood. This did not withstand very well. I've had to sew up some of the corners a little bit, so I might possibly do an upgrade on this as well. Otherwise, and if I do, I'll do, you know, like an update video or whatever at some point. Yeah, otherwise, that's it. That's everything I got for you guys. I hope the video wasn't too long, and I hope it didn't bore you by talking too much if you've made it this far. But if you have, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay wild.